I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my head down the fire.
Y'all, Shay here. It is Wednesday for me / Thursday for you, and it is Whip and Chat Day. Yes, my favorite day of the week. Love doing my Whip and Chats. Y'all know this. It's a time where I get to just hang out with you guys and we get to catch up. And hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. The door opened and then it closed. Okay, I'm back. Someone needed me real quick. I almost need like a filming sign to put on the door or something so people know that but normally when my door's closed, they kind of crack it open and peek in. If they hear me talking, then they know. But okay, so it's Whip and Chat time. WIP stands for, so WIP stands for work in progress. So my current work in progress is a Craftibly painting. So I'm going to be diamond painting. Y'all pull out whatever you want to work on, whatever craft or driving, whatever you guys want to do for a good hour. Grab a drink. I'm drinking some very fancy, some Italian sparkling mineral water. My husband likes sparkling water. I'm not a huge fan because it gives me the burps, so I hope I don't start burping. But we're out of like just regular water. Like I normally get Ozarkas, and we're out of just mineral water, whatever you want to call it, just spring water. So I've resorted to drinking his, with carbonation added. That's why I don't drink these, but look how much I've already had. But I've been sipping on this for like 2 hours. So, cause like I said, I'm not a huge fan of sparkling water. I don't know if y'all are, but I'm just not a huge fan. I don't like the bubbles, I guess, but it's not too bad. So yeah, y'all just get comfy and let's just catch up, and we'll just kind of, start from where we kind of left off and let y'all know what we've been up to. And I hope you guys are doing okay. Let's see. Everything that I'm using, the tray, pen, cover minders, all the goodies, I will have linked down in the description. Okay. So if there's anything y'all are interested in, I've got using my Harbor Freight and all the things. So so you're not confused, you probably already noticed it, but I do have my painting upside down. I'm on the very last row, y'all. I'm almost done with Joanna. Let me show you her picture. Look at this cutie pie. She is adorable. So, I've done up to here. So I'm basically working on her flower right here on her hat. And then the cookie's probably up here, and this will be her hat. So, and I'm doing an event called All Things Craftibly 21 that Kara, the principal painter, and GB Maltese is hosting. So I try to pace myself for events because I don't want to finish too soon and then, have to decide what I want to do next. Maybe not. But actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't have another event that I'm going to work on next month. So I could just start whatever I wanted. It's not like I'm going to be having to wait for something. I don't think I'm doing anything. Speaking of events, while we're talking about diamond painting stuff, I did have lunch with Randee. I think I told y'all that in one of my other videos. We had lunch Friday and we were talking about the mermaid event, and we've nailed down some details since then. So we do have it on the calendar. So I guess it's official. This obviously is not an official announcement because we still have some time. It's not till next year. But if y'all want to just kind of, start thinking about it and, grabbing some mermaid paint. So it's going to be called Mermaids and Magic. And we're going to do it in March. Got lots of M's going on there. So it's going to be March of next year, the whole month of March. So put that on your calendars and, pencil us in. It'll be Randee and I. Randee, who is also, you can call me Butter here on YouTube. We are really good friends, and we've never done an event together. This will be her first event, and it will be my third. So I'm really excited. Y'all know I love mermaids. And when we also said magic, this was all Randee's idea, which I thought was fantastic. It's not just mermaids, magic. It can be anything fantasy, anything that means magic to you. So, we don't want to make it, it needs to be fun. So no serious, rules or anything. And again, we haven't talked about all that stuff because we have time, but yes, we officially have it on the calendar. There is a hashtag. I don't know what it is. I don't remember. Maybe it's hashtag mermaids and magic. I think that's what it is. because I just saw that it's been officially added to the calendar. Let me grab my color and get working here while I'm chatting with y'all. So, okay, it's been, let me see if there's anything else diamond painting. Oh, yeah. I know what else I wanted to talk to y'all about. So, as y'all know, or most of you might know, well, that's funny, I said like a couple left, might as well pour them all in there. I am helping out Craftibly by putting up little product review videos on each product. So, you know, you'll see a picture of the image, a rendering of, you know, the image. Then there'll be a little arrow on there. And if you click on that, then there's a little video that comes up that I'm doing. And it's just a Cliff Notes version. They average 3 to 5 minutes. 5 minutes is, I think, the longest one I have because it had a lot of ABs. And I just do a quick unboxing. And I've already got everything laid out. It's very similar to what I did in my last Craftibly unboxing. Everything's laid out. I just kind of cover everything that you get. And then I put in, I show everybody where the ABs go. So I've got, I went and volunteered at Craftibly on Saturday. And I brought home 26 paintings because I had already done 18 for them. And they had 26 more that I had not done yet. And I don't even know if that's all of them. I just kind of went through and said, oh, I need that one. Haven't done that one yet. Haven't done this one. And y'all, I'm not keeping these, by the way. When I went Saturday, I returned a batch that I'd gotten from the Saturday before. So, and I'm really careful with, you know, opening them. And of course they check them when I bring them back and I just make sure they're in pristine condition. So, no worries there. I make sure that it's just like it was when I found it. But what I was going to say is, for that, if there's any, I'm going to try to, you know, I'm doing Untubing Tuesdays for Craftibly paintings. And if there's any paintings that you want to see unboxed on the channel, let me know. Put it down in the comments and I'll go ahead and pick that one next. Because like I said, I've got about 26 to do. And if there's any ones in particular that you've had your eyes on and you'd like to know more about and you haven't seen it unboxed yet, let me know and I will be happy because I don't have a certain order. I'm just trying to get them all done for them at some point. So I'll put them in the queue and I'll do them on my next Tuesday video. So at this point, I'm just kind of I just grabbed 2 out of the box and just do, I'm trying to do, let's see, I did 4 or 5 yesterday. So I try to do a handful a day. And then I put them on YouTube as unlisted, you know, so Michael can grab them and then he puts them on their website. So yeah, it's been fun. I'm becoming a Craftibly expert. It feels like I know so much about their paintings now. I know, you know, where all the ABs are, where all the artists are, the sizes, you name it, because I have to do a lot of research before I start the videos because I can't be, you know, hunting and pecking around for, you know, a quick video like that. I kind of have everything written down and in my notes. So yeah, so I'm really happy that they gave me that opportunity to help them out and they trusted me, you know, with their website content and with their, you know, with their videos. And it's funny because I have to, on several of them, I have to film multiple times because it's not like this where you can just kind of, you know, be yourself and kind of be casual. I'm trying to be business-like, if you will, but not too, you know, I'm just trying to be, I'm trying to find the right way to be. I'm just trying to be quick about it, but not too fast. And I'm trying to be, you know, be professional, if you will, and not blunder on any words or, you know, there's no bloopers. So I really have to keep like some of them, but I'm getting better at them and I'm getting faster because I've had to do so many of them so far. There's definitely a formula that I've got and I just kind of go boop, 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 boop and go through them all. So yes. So y'all go check those out. Like I said, I haven't done them all yet, but if there's one you want to see and it's not up yet, just let me know. So that's the Craftibly stuff I wanted to mention. Just wanted to throw that out there to y'all, see if there's anything you needed. So, okay, let's start back. I think that's all diamond painting related stuff that I needed to talk about. Yes, I think that's it. Of course, I took my notes. I always take my notes throughout the week so I can update you guys on what's going on. All right, so last time we talked was last Wednesday/Thursday. Last Thursday was my kids, their first day of school. They started on Thursday of last week and went great. No problems. Everybody was excited, sort of. You know, the boys, you know, so Ryan is a junior in high school and Nate's a freshman And then Lauren is who we call Lou. She's in 3rd grade. So everybody had a good first day of school. It was really weird. Ryan, my oldest, just turned 16 not too long ago, and he actually drove his brother to school on the first day. So I have to take him every other day because Ryan has late arrival. I guess when you get to a certain point in high school, if you have enough credits already, you can choose late arrival or early dismissal. And he liked the fact that he could sleep in every other day. So normally they have to be at school at 9. Now he doesn't have to be there till 10:30. So he's like living his best life on those days. So yeah, but on those A days, on the first day, he does take his brother. So yeah, that's been helpful. I'm still home to, make sure everybody gets up and get going. And, Nate doesn't like to be late. And Ryan sometimes is a procrastinator and kind of runs a little last minute. So I can tell Nate's kind of ready and kind of standing around waiting for him. And so I'm trying to help the process. So, okay, first day of school went well. I picked up Lou from school the first day and she was so grouchy. The first thing she said to me in the car was, "I'm starving." So she was super hungry. But the teacher's super cool. She said in her note to us before the first day of school that the kids can bring as many snacks as they want. They can eat whenever they're hungry. They don't have to wait for a certain, snack time, if you will. They can just eat whenever they want. And I told her that and she was like, "What? And you can have your drink on your desk." She goes, "So whenever I'm hungry, I can just go eat?" And the teacher said you can even bring your own breakfast and bring it to school and eat it at your desk. So she seems really cool. So Lou thought that was really nice, and it kind of made her feel like a big kid, being able to choose when you want to eat, which is true. That is a big deal. That's really nice. So she was just, maybe I didn't pack her enough snacks, and she said it was a long day. So, and I said, it'll get easier. You're not used to it. You got to give it a few days. So let's see, that was Thursday. And I asked everybody when they got home from school, a million questions, and I got, yeah, it's good. So I've learned over the years not to really ask too many questions because they'll just tell you whenever they're ready. Because I remember I used to be, like that when I was a kid. You get asked so many questions and you're like, oh, I don't want to, they're just exhausted and they don't really want to talk. But hey, you know what? No one was upset. No one said they had a bad day. It was just kind of, everybody was happy to be home. So I'll take that. So yeah, first day of school went off without a hitch. So that was good news. Like I said, I picked up Lou from school. We do carpool. And then, so what we've been doing is, I forgot to mention this, first day of school, they allow the parents to walk the kids into their classroom, but only on the first day of school. And then after that, you're not allowed in the building because they want the kids to do everything on their own. So I asked her if she wanted me to walk her in. She's like, yes. And so I was going to get, pictures of her at her desk and all that. So I started thinking about it and I'm like, oh, it's going to be so busy. Everybody's going to be doing the same thing. Trying to find parking is going to be insane. I'm like, we should walk. So we were all ready and we go outside because she was excited for the first day of school. She had her clothes picked out, her outfit and everything. So she was ready to go early enough. And so we go out front and we're getting ready to walk. And her best friend that lives one house away from us hollered at her name and was like, Lou. And we were just about to start walking and her mom were about to get in the car and drive to school. And they saw us and they're like, can we walk with you? So they decided to walk. So we walked on the first day of school. Walk to school. It was so nice because it's not that hot yet in the morning. So we walked and it was great just to get out and get some exercise. It made me have a better day. We did the same thing on Friday. So it's been that's our new thing. We're going to walk to school in the morning and we don't live that far from school. So there's really no reason to drive. We're just being kind of lazy and kind of, not getting up early enough and kind of rushing in the morning and, walking takes a little bit longer, but I don't know. By the time you are in all the traffic and have to deal with all the cars and the carpool stuff, walking might be faster, but it just felt really good. Kind of jump started me to want to be a little more active and maybe try to eat better, but that part hasn't been going so good, but at least I feel like I'm moving a little bit more than I was. So that was the first day of school. So we do that and Nate walks home from school because Ryan has baseball. So Ryan has to stay at school later than Nate. So again, Nate gets taken, half of the time by Ryan. I take him the other half and Nate walks home every day. So we're getting a good little system. Everyone's got their, you know, their way of coming and going. So we're figuring it all out. Let's see, freshman year for Nate. First day he said was great. You know, he didn't feel scared or lost, and he's super cool, y'all. He's just he's my kid that's just calm, cool, and collected, and just super chill. So he was like, yep, it's all good, no big deal. I'm like, okay. But he also did a lot of preparation beforehand. Like I'd mentioned before, we were looking at a map of the school. He made sure he knew, you know, where his classes were. So he does the research beforehand, and that way he feels prepared, and he did. So he felt good about it. So, okay, that was Thursday. All right, so y'all, we're getting there. A lot more happened since then. Oh my gosh, just hold on. Okay, so Friday. Randee and I was like, hey, I'm free now. Kids are back at school. Let's go to lunch. So we went to a restaurant called Blue Goose. I'm sorry, wait, Blue Mesa? Blue Goose? I forget. It's a Mexican restaurant. I've just drawn a blank. But it was really good. We had this seafood, sampler. It was really good. I had a little bit of everything. And, you know, she's trying to eat healthier, and she's lost some weight. So we were talking about that, and she's, you know, kind of helped me to go, okay, I'm going to try to. And so we tried not to eat a lot of chips, and we were trying to be good. We both took little to-go boxes home. But we had an awesome lunch, and she gave me that gift that I unboxed on the channel for y'all. She got me that beautiful blue pen for my 1,000 subscriber gift. So that was so sweet of her. And if y'all haven't checked her out yet, please do. I'll put her in the description so y'all can go check her out if you're not, you know, if not familiar with her. She's really, really, really cool. So we had lunch, and we sat there for about 2.5 hours and just chatted and caught up, and it was so good because we had lunch a few times, you know, before, but they were closer together. But this time it had been a little while since we had, you know, really gone to lunch. So I'm glad that we were able to get back together. We'd been talking about doing it for a while, but, you know, just couldn't make it happen. Oh, I see more. So that was Friday. So it's funny because when we were trying to decide what we were going to have for lunch, as y'all know, if you've been watching my channel, every Friday night we have pizza. So one night, I don't have to plan dinner. I don't have to think about dinner. I'm like, yes, it's Friday, pizza, done, right? So when Randee was like, where do you want to go? And I'm like, anything but pizza, because I knew we'd have pizza for dinner. Well, so that's what we had, Mexican. And then here it is, Friday night. And I was like, they're like, what's for dinner? And I'm like, what's today? They're like, Friday. I'm like, pizza. And they're all like, oh, I don't feel like pizza. I was like, oh, no. No, don't do this to me, because I didn't have anything else planned. So we, you know, went through different ideas of what to get, what to make, and kind of scrounged around the kitchen to see what we had. And we had some frozen burger patties, and I happened to have some buns, had a little bit of lettuce, had like one sad little tomato, didn't have any fries or anything to go with them, so we just did chips. But we pulled it together. But y'all, I had to make dinner. So we didn't have pizza on Friday. I was bummed. I always look forward to kind of getting a day off from making dinner. So yep, we had burgers on Friday. And then I really had a good day with Randee. It was fun at lunch. And it was nice to have a long lunch and not worrying about the kids, you know, knowing that they were at school. So we'll have to do more of that more often since the kids are back at school, or were back at school. So we'll talk about that. Okay, that was Friday. And then Saturday was fun. So Lou and I, before I went to Craftibly on Saturday, Lou had a birthday party to go to, a friend in the neighborhood. And we just kind of got the invitation like a few days before the party. So we hadn't bought a gift yet. So we went to Learning Express. It's this little toy store just up the street from us. And we went to go get her friend a birthday gift. And while we were there, they have these frogs in these little tank. I meant to bring it down to show y'all, but I forgot. But yeah, little frogs. There's 2 of them in a little tank, and they're super low maintenance. They're African dwarf frogs is what they're called. And I had some when I was a kid. So I, you know, brought back memories. I'm like, oh, I had one when I was 9. We've been struggling with what to buy Nate for his birthday. Okay. I mean, what do you get a 15-year-old? It's so hard. And the things he wanted were like computer parts, and they were very, very expensive, and we weren't going to do that. So I was just I bought him socks and a pair of slides and just some random things, a gift card to a game, you know, a streaming that he likes. So we were at this Learning Express, and they have these little frogs, and we've seen the frogs many times because she always asks for them, and I'm like, nope, no frogs. So we were looking at them, and I just kind of goes, I said, Lou, should we get Nate some frogs for his birthday? She's like, yeah. And of course she thought that was awesome. She goes, I'll babysit him until his birthday. They can stay in my room and we'll hide him in the closet. She has a dresser inside of her closet, and Nate never goes in there. So yeah, we got Nate some frogs for his birthday. Now, she doesn't watch my videos, so I think I'm good and she's not in here, but Lou's birthday is coming up. Let's see, 4 days from now. And I'm gonna go back and get her a couple of frogs. So we're gonna have frogs all over the place. But y'all, these frogs, again, they're in water, right? So it's this little biosphere that they have them in. And you only have to feed them twice a week, 2 pellets per frog. And it was like $34, and they give you a year's worth of food for these frogs. They give you all these instructions and the food. And then you only have to clean the tank once every 3 months. And it's just like taking out some of the water and putting new water in, like distilled water. Super easy. Nothing like a fish. So I was like, yes, low maintenance, let's do it. But the thing is, they apparently have a long lifespan of like 10 to 15 years is what they said to us. I was like, oh Lord, what are we doing? So we're going to have 4 little frogs, but they're super cute. Nate kind of, I don't know what he thought about it. Again, he's kind of my chill kid, and he doesn't, you know, he's kind of, oh, okay. And I had gone to the dollar store the day before his birthday, and I was buying some little things, you know, buying balloons and gift bags and stuff. And I found some gummy frogs. So I bought those, and I had them next to them, and I bought a bow. And so I had a little bow on the frog tank, and I put the gummy frogs next to the frog tank. So he had a good birthday. But we'll talk about that in a second. So, okay, so that was Saturday, all right? So we first went to Craftibly, or no, hold on. First went to Learning Express. Was that Saturday? Yes. So we went to the party store, okay? Got that. And then came back, and I was like, okay, I gotta head to Craftibly. You know, I'll be gone just a little bit. I'm gonna help them out, see if they need some help. So I headed over there. I got there about 11:30, because the store didn't open till 10, so we kind of had to get a late start. So headed up there, and I stayed till about 3:30 or 4, so I wasn't there all day. And I did some really cool stuff. I had to look through some tubes, some puppy craze petunia that they'd received in. They got a restock, and they needed to find out which ones were squares, which ones were round, and they were kind of mixed up a little bit. So I got to go through each kit and shake the drills down and kind of see which one it was, and make like different, you know, piles of square and round, and see how everything looked. So yeah, so I kind of went through there, and that took me a while. And then I did a few other things for them, but yeah, I got to go up there. And like I said, I returned the paintings that I had, you know, picked up the previous week that I'd done the videos for, and then I picked up 26 more. I had these 2 huge boxes in my car. I came home, my husband's like, oh my gosh. I was like, yep, there's more. Lots of purple tubes. So, did that. And the reason why I had to leave at around 3:30 or 4 is because, you know, Lou had that birthday party to go to. Plus, Nate wanted me to take him and a friend to the movies and drop them off. They went and saw Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. And it's PG-13. And, you know, I was like, I hope they don't give him any problems, him and his friend, with me dropping them off. But so when I got home, we got the birthday present all wrapped up and ready to go for her friend. She was able to ride her bike over to the birthday party. It was a swim party. And it was like from 5 to 8. So she was gone for a while. And during that time, it worked out perfectly because the movie was at 6. Now, the funny thing is, Nate, you know, he's not super social. He's in his room a lot, gaming a lot, kind of doing his own thing. He's got a couple, you know, close friends, but that he talks to online, and that he, you know, they'll come over sometimes after school or, you know, over the summer. But for the most part, you know, he kind of just hangs out. And, but, you know, he wanted me to take him to the movies, but he said, you know, can you stay with us? I think you'd really like the movie. I was like, stay with you? I'm like, you really want your mom with you and your friend at the movies? He's like, well, Lou can come too even. I'm like, well, no, Lou's at a birthday party. And I was trying to figure out why he wanted me to go. Now, it's one of those movie theaters where you can eat dinner and they have the reclining seats. It's like a full deal. And so I'm like, are you nervous about, like getting food and ordering without me and paying and not knowing what to do? I mean, I'll give you my credit card. I'm like, why do you want me to go? He's like, oh, you'll love the movie. It's supposed to be really funny. You should stay with us. You should. And he kind of just, I was really surprised. And I'm like, buddy, you're not going to get kidnapped. You're, almost 15 years old. I think it's, you're going to be okay and you'll be with your friend. And I'm like, you know what? I said, if I have to stay or if you want me to stay, I will. I said, let's just play it by ear and I'll let Dad know. So we picked up his buddy. And I figured I would kind of get a gauge from his friend, how his friend thought about being dropped off without a parent. And I knew his mom had said that she was fine with it. But so his friend got in the car and I kind of lightly was like, so, we started talking about the movie. And I said, so, buddy, I'm like, are you good if I just drop y'all off? He goes, yeah, my mom gave me money and I'm good. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, we'll see. I'll buy the tickets for y'all. I'll go in with you. I'll buy the tickets. I'll let them know that, y'all are going in. And if they give us, because we checked their website, it didn't say anything about age restrictions, but one time there was a different movie theater I had taken him to last year and I did have to stay. So they did give me kind of a hard time about, a parent being with them. And that was only like a year ago. So I thought, oh, but this theater was really cool and it wasn't an issue. So went in and bought the tickets for him. And he kind of is looking at me and his friend, I said, okay, here's my card and, get what you want, get dinner, drinks, whatever you need. And he looked a little nervous, but I was like, so funny. He, I guess he's not as independent as I thought he was, or he just was nervous. So it was kind of cute. He still wanted mommy. I'm like, oh my gosh, he still wants his mom. So yeah, y'all, he wanted me to go. And I would have, but I thought, we'd been shopping in the morning for birthday gifts and buying frogs. And I'd been at Craftibly and I was tired from working there. And then, I just wanted to come home and chill. Lou was going to be gone and Ryan was out with friends. And I just thought, it'd be nice just to kind of chill for a little bit, for a couple hours. And then I would go back and pick them up. And so, yep, that's what I did. Dropped him off. And then he sent me a text message whenever the movie was almost over. And they said they hadn't been waiting long. And they said it's a good thing I didn't stay because he's like, Mom, there was a lot of gaming references and you probably wouldn't have gotten them. It would have been over your head. So he was kind of glad that I didn't go after all. So it worked out. So then, Lou went to her party. She came home. She had a great time. It was a Paris themed party. So she thought that was really cool. And the mother actually makes cakes and she bakes and she has a business. So she made 2 cakes and they were so impressive. She does all the neighborhood kids' birthday parties. She does all the cakes and they're just over the top. So beautiful. So it was cool to see the pictures. She was sending us pictures throughout the night and just showing us what the kids were up to. And so she had a really good time doing that. So that was Saturday. And then we had an opportunity my husband and I, we ordered Indian food. We love Indian food. And my boys will eat it. Lou definitely doesn't like it. But it's something whenever we like, just the 2 of us or just the boys and us, sometimes we're like, yes, let's do Indian. So when my husband and I knew that we were going to be just us for dinner, we were like, so we did Indian. We ordered that and I went and picked it up on the way home from dropping the boys off at the movies. So we had Indian food and then I got to diamond paint for a little bit and then I got the call from Nate that it was time to pick him up. So I went and did that. So that was Saturday. And then Sunday morning, we woke up and Lou was like, can we go to Dunkin' Donuts? I really want a donut. I was like, oh, okay, why not? So her and I cruised over to Dunkin' Donuts up the street. And while we were out, I noticed a lot of families, a lot of people walking, running, biking, and again, trying to be more active. And I'm trying to get her active too. She's a big kid and, she could, we both, everybody, we could all stand to be a little bit healthier. So, I was like, yeah, look at all these people out. And it was kind of cooler out that day for some reason. It wasn't as hot. And so I said, we should go on a bike ride when we get home. I'm like, eat your donut and then we should work the donut off. She's like, okay. She loves going on bike rides. So we get home and we're trying to figure out where to go, where to ride the bikes. And she's like, I know. Why don't we go to Starbucks? I'm like, I don't think you can go that far. And my husband's like, I don't think that's a good idea. She might not be able to make it that far. And I'm like, well, we can try. And it's about 1.5 miles there and then 1.5 miles back. So we're talking about a total 3 miles. And I'm like, now neither one of us have gears on our bikes. They're both cruisers. So they're just like, you know, there's nothing fancy to these bikes that we both have. They're both beach cruisers. So we decided to ride to Starbucks. And get this, y'all, we made it. And she was a champ. She never complained one time. We kept like cheering each other on and we were like so into it. It was so fun. So that's our deal from now on. I'm like, okay, on the weekends, if you want McDonald's, because there's McDonald's right next to it, there's a there's like a lot of stuff. I was like, if you want something, let's ride there. Let's make it worth, you know, let's ride our bikes there. So we're going to try to do that on Sundays. Or Saturdays and try to get out for a bike ride. You know, if there's a treat we want or somewhere we want to go, because she can do it. I was so impressed with her and she was even way ahead of me. Now I'm going to blame it on needing air in my tires, but I don't know. Cause I was like, she's like, oh, it'll be easier for me than you. And I'm like, girl, no, I got this. Well, I didn't. I thought my knees were going to break. Afterwards, I was walking up the stairs and I'm like, my kneecaps were burning. I was like, okay, maybe my seat. My husband's like, yeah, I think your seat's not where it needs to be because if your knees are that sore. But the knees were super sore. I'm just totally out of shape. So we did that. So we got our Starbucks. We sat there at Starbucks, all proud of ourselves that we rode our bikes there. We shared a breakfast sandwich and we got our coffees and we even got one for my husband and put a little stopper in it and it made its way back. I got a hot one because I figured, an iced one wouldn't have made it. It would have just been, totally melted. And it made it. So we did that. And then after that, that afternoon, she had cheer practice. So she does cheerleading. And this is her 3rd or 4th year. I think her 4th year to do cheerleading. She really enjoys it. And the cheer practice that they hold, it's going to be every Sunday. The games are on Saturdays and cheer practice is on Sundays. Sunday from like 2 to 3. And she, it's at her school and they use the field there. And so her school's really close because like I said, we walk to school in the mornings. So she was like, let's ride bikes. She was on like the bike. I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to ride bikes some more. So y'all, we rode bikes to cheer practice. I was so proud of us that day. We were moving. So we go there. I stayed. It's just an hour long. She did a great job. They're learning a dance and she really enjoyed it. Which that reminds me, we're supposed to be practicing. They sent the video of the dance and we're supposed to practice more of it before the next one. So that was cheer practice. Rode there, rode back. I was exhausted. I was like, okay, I don't think my body can take anymore. My knees can't take anymore. So we did that. And then what else happened on Sunday? Cheer practice. Okay. So that was Sunday. So Sunday night, we are, everybody's, charging up their Chromebooks for school the next day, their computers, and, I'm packing lunches. I did laundry all day Sunday, just trying to get ready for, the week and making sure everybody had clothes. So I did that all day Sunday in between our bike rides and cheer practice, and I got everything done. I was proud of myself. And then it's Monday morning, Lou and I walked to school like usual. Super fun with her friend and her mom. We did that and picked her up in the afternoon. No big deal. But that morning, Ryan woke up and he was like, I don't feel good. He's like, I have a headache. And actually he started complaining on Sunday about having a headache. And I just thought, oh, he's just, maybe tired from school starting or, you get headaches, it's not a big deal. But then Monday morning, he was like, I don't feel great. And he said, I got a kind of a runny nose. And I was like, okay. I kind of, made him go to school. So Monday night at dinner, we're all at the dinner table and we're talking. And you can tell he doesn't feel 100%. And he makes the comment to us that there's been, and we've been getting letters, we've been getting emails from the school. We've gotten like 2 saying that there's been some COVID cases at the high school. And masks are not mandatory. And my kids have not been wearing masks because Ryan's fully vaccinated. So is Nate. So we thought, we're good. Not good. Nope. Do you know where I'm going with this? Yeah. So we're sitting at the table and he starts to tell us he knows a lot of people that that have it. And here he is telling us he's not feeling good. So my husband looks at me and he's like, I'm taking him to go get tested right now. So he gets up from the dinner table. He's like, because Ryan had just finished eating. We just got done eating. And he's like, we need to go get him tested. So my husband and him hop in the car. They were gone for a while because it was really busy. They went to an urgent care for kids place. And they were there for like 3 hours, I think. And he tested positive for COVID. Yep. So, y'all, this week has been rough. It's been really, really rough. But we did have some good news today. So it has gotten a little better. So he came home and, we got him, masked up and, all in his room and, hand sanitizer and got him all set up and got him some water. And, it was almost bedtime by the time, actually Lou was already in bed. So that's something that happened Tuesday morning. So Lou was in bed already. So she didn't even know what had happened. She didn't know he was positive. And so, we all knew that they weren't going to be going to school on Tuesday because they couldn't, no one could go to school, especially Ryan. He's quarantined for sure. But, his siblings also, until we know we're all good, they can't go to school. So Tuesday morning, I don't wake up Lou for school. But I'm laying in bed and I'm, looking at my phone and I'm sending messages to the school saying they're going to be absent and this is why, and doing all the things that I had to do. And she comes, I hear a bunch of noise upstairs and I hear dum, 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 and she comes running down and it's like about 20 minutes till school starts. Mom, and she's got her clothes in her hand. What about school? She thought I'd overslept and she'd freaked out and she had asked, she's got a Siri in her room, an AirPod. So she asked what time it was. She found out it was, and she's like freaking out. I'm like, Lou, you're not going to school today. She's like, what? And I told her what happened and she started crying. And I felt so bad for her. And she was like, when is it ever going to go away? And, it's hard for an 8-year-old to, even for adults, y'all, they don't have the coping skills to, and I have those days too, where I'm like, oh, is this ever going to go away? It's hard. And she just got really emotional and started crying. And of course she thought she was late for school. And, she found out she wasn't even going and she wasn't going to be able to go the next day because once they found out Ryan was positive, we needed to wait a day or two before we could get tested because it would be too soon if we did it right away. So yesterday, Tuesday. So that was Monday night. So Tuesday, everybody stayed home, of course. Ryan stayed up in his room. I would, put a mask on and gloves and go in his room and drop food off. And he would call me if he needed something on his phone. And he's a trooper. He took a shower. I walked in his room and I tore all the sheets off of his bed and washed all of his bedding and just kind of sanitized the house. But here's part of the sad news is Nate's birthday was yesterday. So we had plans to go out to dinner with my parents and to celebrate Nate's birthday. And we, of course, Lou asks, that are we going to be able to go to dinner still tomorrow for Nate's birthday? I'm like, no, honey, we can't go out until we all know that, that we're okay. But we couldn't get tested until today. So we couldn't get tested until Wednesday. They said we needed to wait at least till Wednesday or Thursday. So we didn't go to dinner. Obviously we had to, let everybody know. So I did that, sent a ton of messages to everybody, to all the family. And then, on top of that, Lou's birthday, like I said, is in a few days. Her birthday's on Sunday. She was going to have a big birthday party with like 15, 16 kids on Saturday. Well, I had to send a message to all those parents and we're postponing the birthday party till the following Saturday, till the 28th. And that's if, everything goes according to plan and if everybody's okay and there's no symptoms that pop up with anyone. So we had to tell her that. My husband actually told her because I couldn't break the news to her. He's like, I'll tell her. And so he explained it really well to her. She started crying and, you know, but we just tried to explain to her, you know, this is, you know, we can't risk, you know, making anyone sick. We can't risk, you know, your friends getting sick. And so, but for Nate's birthday, we tried to make the most of it. We went to, my husband ordered P.F. Chang's. It's a, for those of you that are not familiar with it, it's a kind of a, not upscale, but it's a restaurant. It's Chinese food. And he likes Chinese food. They all love orange chicken. So we got we got some sushi and and it was like it was meant to be, y'all. We've had some scorching hot days every day, but yesterday for some reason, it was like 79, sprinkling a little bit. It was overcast. We were able to eat outside and Ryan was able to join us. So while my husband was gone picking up the food, I set up everything outside. I brought the balloons outside and, you know, tried to make it special for Nate. And we ate outside and we had Ryan, you know, on the other side, away from us. And we put the umbrella, you know, over him because it was sprinkling. But it was actually really nice out. It was like the one night where it hasn't been super hot. It was like, it was meant to be. It's like, God was like, okay, y'all need this, you know, you need to have a family dinner for his birthday and not feel right, you know, and Ryan needed some fresh air. Of course, you know, he'd been in his room all day. So, we did that. And then I ran out to Baskin Robbins, an ice cream place that we have here. And I got Nate an ice cream cake the day before his birthday. So, we ate outside, which was really nice. And then, we sang happy birthday to him and I had the candles and, yeah. And my husband actually checked on him last night, when he was upstairs and he came down and we were talking about Nate's birthday and he said, yeah, I asked him if he ended up having a good day and he said he did. Plus he didn't have to go to school on his birthday. So, I mean, he actually got his wish because he made a comment a few days before that. I don't want to go to school on my birthday. I want to stay home. We're like, no, it's like the third day of school, third or fourth day of school. You can't miss a day already. And then he was also excited because apparently in high school, I might have mentioned this to y'all, but they go to the birthday kids. The principal goes into the room and does a whole clap, clap, roar because they're the Lions as the mascot. So he was not looking forward to that. He was going to be extremely embarrassed. And so he was happy that he got to miss that. Okay, so so that was Tuesday. Okay. And so, like I said, they said that we couldn't get tested until Wednesday. So last night we were scrambling, you know, trying to find places that we could get tested. I got the kids set up at an urgent care for kids, the same place that Ryan had gone to. They had appointments at 2:00 this afternoon. And then my husband worked on getting appointments for him and I, because they're kind of funny at the, oh, this is the ABs. This is where this pen doesn't work very well. Oh, y'all. I don't know what it is, but I still need to switch pens. I have another pen that works better. Try this one. Actually, I just need to multi-place and I should be good to go. So, my husband got us set up for an appointment this morning at 9:00. And, it was just one of those places where you scan the code on the door, and it's called like Any Lab Test Now. It's like a generic just lab place. And, you tell them you're there, and then they come out and, they tell you to put your hazard lights on so they know which car you're in. They came out and oh my gosh, I was such a big baby. And my kids have all had to have tests already multiple times. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they weren't kidding. It was awful. It was awful. Oh, it feels like they go so far up in your nose, the swab, and it feels like they're just digging around in there forever. And you're like, come on, when is this going to be over? And this is nothing. I mean, my kids all had to have both of their nostrils done. The adults, they only did one of ours. But oh my gosh, I was coughing. My eyes are watering. I was like, you know, sneezing. Oh, it was awful. And my nose was burning for about an hour afterwards. So I don't know if y'all have ever had a COVID test done, but it is not fun. And oh my gosh. But you get the results 30 minutes in your email. So done. They, like I said, come out to your car. It was super easy. So, we were driving home and we're almost home, and I'm like, I wonder if there's anything yet. And I told my husband, I was like, it's almost like, doing like a pregnancy test, and you're like, oh my gosh, what are the results? And you're nervous, you're scared, and so I checked my email, and the results were there. And you had to log in and go through all the stuff, and I couldn't do it on my phone while he was driving because I get car sick, so I had to wait till we got home. And I was able to log in, and negative. I'm negative and my husband's negative. So we're like, whew, thank God. So 2 out of 4 done. Okay, y'all. So we were happy this morning about that. We both were negative. We got 2 more to go. So this afternoon, like I said, I just got back about 30 minutes ago. As soon as we got home, I was like, I need to film my video. I need to like chill out for a few minutes. It's been a day. We went there, had to wait. It took about an hour in total, but you get your results in 15 minutes, but you just have to wait in the office. But it takes a while for them to, the nurse comes in first. And again, Nate was fully vaccinated, and they wanted to know all his information. I forgot to bring his vaccination card with me because I didn't think they were going to need it. So I had to call my husband, and he was working, and he's like, I'm on a call. I'm like, can you take a picture of it? Because it's at the house. So he was so sweet. He was able to take a picture of it for me, and I was able to get the information to them. Both of the kids are negative. So keeping our fingers crossed. So far, so good. So we've all been tested. Nate and Lou they've missed 2 days of school now. So they get to go back to school tomorrow, which, they're excited about. Nate's like, I'm glad I got to miss school on my birthday, but I'm ready to go back. So, and Lou's ready. She misses, she was just starting to make new friends at school and she was just getting to, get the routines down, and then she had to leave. So for 2 days, but her teacher was super nice. I emailed her teacher yesterday and told her what was going on in case she didn't know. And I said, is there any work that she needs to be doing while she's out? And she said, nope, I'll work with her when she gets back and we'll get her all caught up. No big deal. I was like, thank you. Because me trying to work with her on stuff, no, it doesn't work. Parenting, trying to, we did that last year, with homeschooling. It did not work. They're always better for a teacher than they are their parent. So, she's been chilling for the last 2 days. So yeah, y'all, we had a COVID scare. Well, we did have one, and then he dodged a bullet with the rest of us, but poor Ryan. Now, the good news is, out of all this, because he was already vaccinated, his symptoms are, milder than they would have been if he wouldn't have been vaccinated. So that's good news. He just feels like he has a cold. He sounds congested. He he complained of a headache the first day, runny nose, but I can hear him up there. He's gaming. He's having a good old time. He's just chilling in his room. My folks, my mom and dad had stopped over yesterday in the driveway with all our masks on, social distancing, and they wanted to give Nate his birthday present. And so we did that, and they made a little care package for Ryan. It was so sweet. It was a bag of goodies, and there was a can of chicken noodle soup in there, which I thought was so funny. And then some magazines, and then some candy, and just a really nice package for him. And it really made him feel good. Ryan felt awful, just awful that he got this and that he was putting everybody through this and potentially, making us sick. He felt really, really bad. And my husband and I both were talking about it later. He had said it to both of us separately, and he goes, yeah, I told that to my husband. And I'm like, yeah, he feels really bad. He goes, yeah, he said the same thing to me. And I told him the same thing as my husband did, and we didn't even know it. It's not your fault, it's not your fault. It's okay, we'll get through this. So Ryan can't go back to school until next Wednesday. So the school nurse did call me the very first day after I put the absence report in, and I said, he was positive. She called me. She just kind of, gave me some pointers on, make sure he drinks water and, all the things. And she was really, really nice, checking on him. And we both agreed with the doctors that he had to be quarantined until the 26th. So he'll be able to return to school. It's either Wednesday or Thursday, but I think it's Wednesday he'll be able to go back. So he still has another week. But here's the deal. Even though he's out and he's sick, he still has to keep up on all of his work. Everything is posted online. And so he still is expected to do everything so he doesn't get behind. And he's not my most studious child out of the three. Oh my gosh. And y'all, school just started, and he was like, before school started, he's like, Mom, this year's going to be different. It's my junior year, and I'm really, going to start getting better grades and take things more serious. And here we are, we're not getting off to a great start. And he's the one that gets behind, and, he's got ADD, and it's hard for him. He's not organized. He has a hard time focusing, all the things. So it's just hard. It's hard for him to keep everything straight. He struggles. And I try to help him where I can, but I don't want to baby him. He's got to figure it out on his own. I can't be, I can't. I just can't. So I've asked him every day, are you checking? Are you checking to make sure you don't have anything? He's like, yep, I'm checking. I'm like, okay. So I just hope he's keeping track of stuff. But hopefully they haven't had too much so far. It's only the, fourth day of school, technically? Yeah. So I'm hoping they're not getting into too much yet. And by the time he gets back, he'll be able to get caught up and be, be back to where he needs to be. But I was going to tell y'all something else that was really funny. So, I've been feeling really bad that, Lou's been home and she's super bored because she can't play with any friends right now until we knew the test results until to this afternoon. And so she's just been really bored, and she's been wanting to play a lot, and we've been doing all kinds of things together. So, now that we're on this bike ride kick, we have got a Walmart that's about 1.5 miles, actually a little bit shorter, like a half a mile, like shorter than we went for Starbucks. And so today I was like, hey, do you want to ride bikes to Walmart? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you think you can do it? She's like, yeah. So when we left the house, it was lightly sprinkling, just like a little spit. I'm like, if it really starts coming down, we'll turn around. It's sprinkling a little bit as we're riding there. Not a big deal. We made it. Again, she's a rock star, riding her bike all over the place now. So we go to Walmart. We're all proud of ourselves. We park our bikes, and but right when we're almost we're getting into the parking lot, we start to notice it's starting to pick up a little bit, the rain. And I'm like, oh, we made it here in perfect time. So we're inside Walmart. We really don't, I can't buy too much. We both have little baskets on our bikes in the front, but still, we just went in to get, just to have something to do and maybe grab a snack, look around. So we're walking around, and they've totally redone this Walmart. We couldn't find the toys anywhere because they've rearranged everything. And I just wanted to find the clearance section, and we finally found that because it's always fun to dig around. So we did that, and then all of a sudden we hear the roof of Walmart. Just like, and then we hear thunder, and we're like, oh no. She's like, Mom, maybe that wasn't a good idea that we rode bikes. I was like, oh my gosh. Maybe it wasn't a great idea, but we'll figure it out. She goes, can we call Dad? And I'm like, he doesn't have enough room in his car for both of our bikes, and we can't leave our bikes here. They weren't even locked up. I'm like, they might get stolen. I'm like, we can do it. Don't worry. I'm like, we'll just wait out the storm. We'll just walk around. We'll just, just walk around Walmart, check things out. Maybe we'll get something to eat and drink, and we'll go chill outside and watch the rain until it's, lets up a little bit. I'm like, it'll pass. So she's looking at something, and I'm like, you know what? And it's really coming down. I mean, you can hear it pounding on the roof of Walmart. And I was like, oh my gosh, what have we done? So, excuse me. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. So I decided to pull out my phone and check the radar. And it didn't look good. It was all red. I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I check the weather before we left? Such a bad move. But I will tell y'all, we ended up having the best time ever. The best time ever. I'm like, she kept saying, Mom, this maybe wasn't a good idea, or this was a mistake, as we were riding home in the pouring rain. But at the same time, I told her, I'm like, well, you're not going to melt. I'm like, this is fun. You're always going to remember this. You're always going to remember the time that mom and I rode to Walmart in the rain and sat outside Walmart and ate our Takis and our soda and just laughed and watched the rain and sat on the ground, And we were laughing so hard the whole way home. We kept talking about how wet we were. We were drenched. It was, okay. So it looked like it was letting up as we were sitting out there for a while. We'd done our talkies and we're like, okay. I said, you know what? Because her doctor's appointment was coming up, and I was like, oh, we better get home. And I'm like, it looks like it's letting up. You just want to try? She's like, yeah, I'm ready to go. So it didn't look bad, but once we were out in it, it was bad. And there was all these cars passing us, and I was kind of embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, these cars are probably thinking, what a horrible mother. You know, I've got my purse in the basket, and my purse is getting soaked. I'm like, I hope my purse can get this wet. My phone's in there and everything. And we had our little basket of, you know, chips and drinks, and we were so wet. Oh my gosh. It was hilarious. I will never forget our COVID quarantine time and trying to ride our bikes to Walmart with a storm. But it's so fun. You know, those are the things that, why not? You know, you're going to get wet. Who cares? Change your clothes when you get home. It's not the end of the world. So, but we kept laughing the whole way about how wet we were getting. I had a hat on, of course, and my hat, we were getting so wet that my hat was dripping. Water was just like, it was almost like it was sweat. It was just like dripping off my hat. And she was smart. She decided to wear a hoodie, right before we left. She was like, I'm going to grab a hoodie, you know, since it's sprinkling. I'm like, okay. And I think it helped her a little bit, but I went to pick up her hoodie, after she had taken it off, and it was so heavy. It was full of water. I mean, she really got wet, but she had her hoodie over her head, so I think it was keeping the water from like hitting her face. But at one point, her hoodie was getting so drenched, it was getting so soggy and long, it was hanging in front of her face. And she's like, I can't really see. And we were just cracking up laughing, going through the puddles, laughing at the cars that were driving by, you know, splashing up water, and they were almost getting us. And yeah, so that was an adventure this morning. Super fun. I love hanging out with her. She's at a great age, such a fun age to do these things with, and just to be silly with and be a kid, you know. I get to be a kid again. So I loved it. It was great. So we get home and she wants to show Dad, you know, how wet she got. And he's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if that was a good idea. I said, that's what she said too, but I'm like, it was fun. Everybody kept thinking it was a mistake and a bad idea, but I didn't see anything wrong with it. There was no lightning. So I'm thinking, hey, no lightning, all good. We're not going to get struck by lightning. We're not going to melt. It wasn't cold out. It felt good. But ever since then, though, we got home and I changed. My clothes were sopping wet. I mean, my shirt, our shoes. Oh, forget the shoes. Our shoes are never going to dry out. Once we hopped off our bikes, it felt so weird. We stepped down and our shoes were so full of water that you squished down into a bunch of water and it went between your toes. It was so funny. I was like, oh, this feels so weird. So we were laughing about that, but our shoes are so wet. I might stick them in the dryer or just let them air dry, but it's going to take a while. So that was fun. We got to get out and just be silly and get over, you know, because the last few days have been rough. They have been rough. So, you know, but again, like I was trying to tell Lou, you know, when she was getting upset over all this, I'm like, honey, it could be so much worse. You know, it could be so much worse. We could be dealing with something a lot more serious than this. So, and she goes, this is making me feel worse. I was like, oh, okay. And of course she was crying this morning about having to have the swab done because she's had a COVID test before. She had to be tested before because someone in her class last year tested positive. So because of close contact, we had her tested. So this was her second time. So she knew what was going to happen and she knew it hurt. And boy, I don't blame her. Oof, it doesn't feel good. But she was a trooper. She did it. And I wanted to get her mind off of it. That's why I thought we'd ride to Walmart. And it did. It worked. So, yeah. What else? So, yeah, we've got, like I said, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. You know, I sent out a message to all the parents about her birthday party. You know, not being this weekend, which I'm really bummed about. The mom in the neighborhood that I told you that makes the cakes is actually going to do a cake for Lou. So she was like the first person I sent a message to. I'm like, you haven't started making the cake yet, have you? She's like, nope, I don't start making it till 2 days before. You are good. I'm like, okay, hold off. Let me see if I get, you know, more art, you know, hopefully everybody's available, for the following Saturday. Oh, this is just not picking up. And we're going to have a good turnout. And she's, you know, she was really bummed. She was bummed about the luau. But we'll just do it on the 28th, you know, especially since everybody's negative here and Ryan will be out of quarantine. And again, it's just outside, you know, the kids aren't coming in the house. So we feel like it'll be safe, but you know, we needed to do that. It was the right thing to do. So yeah, I don't know, y'all. Always something. Yep. Never a dull moment. But again, I count my blessings because it could be, like I said, so much worse. I'm the type of person where the glass is always half full. My husband, on the other hand, is half empty. So as soon as, you know, Ryan told me he wasn't feeling good, I was like, nah, he's fine, you know. But of course, as soon as my husband felt, he thinks the worst. And he was right. So I need to be more like that, I guess. I want to be super positive all the time and think everything's going to be okay. But I guess, you know, I can't. I guess, you know, I got to go. I mean, and my gut wasn't telling me to go to get him tested yet. So normally I listen to my gut, you know, because he's been tested 2 times before. We've all had negative results. I mean, you know, I've never been tested, but both kids have been. Nate had never been. This was our first time. My husband's been. There was someone at work that had it. So, yeah, but I'm glad he took them, and I'm glad he took, you know, that's what's good about our relationship is we've got a good mix of, you know, someone that's laid back and then someone that's not. So I think it's a good combination because I hope we kind of, you know, even each other out a little bit, and you know, it's a good mix. But y'all, I've been chatting. Okay, it's exactly an hour and I had no idea. I just looked up. Damn, good. I had an hour's worth of stuff to tell y'all and I'm out of things to talk about. I squeezed it all in. I'm telling you, I love my whipping chats. I get to just get everything off my chest. So I appreciate y'all listening. Glad you're here. If y'all haven't subscribed yet, and you know, think about hitting the subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you guys. And for those of you that have already subscribed, thank you very much. And what else? Hit the, after you subscribe, go ahead and click the little bell next to the subscribe button. And that's a notification bell. And that way you'll be notified whenever I post up any new videos. All right. Okay. And again, y'all let me know if there's any Craftiblys you want to see, and I'll be happy to do those for you. Because I'm really just grabbing out of a box and just randomly picking some. So, and I've got to do them all. So just let me know. And oh, one more thing. I almost forgot, and I did not have it written down. I know I told y'all in my last whip and chat that I'm going to be doing my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and I was going to do it a little pop-up live. So I'm going to do that tomorrow, or today. Sorry for y'all. I'm going to do it Thursday night because that'll be a full week, and all you had to do was leave a comment. Any comment will do, and we'll just do a random comment generator, YouTube, and we'll just pick a comment. And that person will win Craftibly painting of their choice of the ones that I have, because I was given some of them earlier on. And then I've got lots of other goodies to go with it. I've got a pen. I've got a 3D printed rainbow pen holder. There's some sparklers, and of course I like to throw in a lot of other things. So it will be fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the live. And I'll put something on Instagram, and then hopefully you'll be notified any other ways that I can think of. This will be my first live that I've done alone, so I'm a little nervous. But it won't be long. We'll just catch up for a little bit, and then I'll do the giveaway. But let's do, it's going to be Thursday, and I don't want to go over anybody else's live. So I think I'm good if I do 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. I know Jenny goes live on Thursday nights, but she goes on after that. So I think I'm good with 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So y'all be sure and pop in. You don't have to be present to win, but I'd love for y'all to be on there if you're the winner, because that'd be so fun for the winner to find out when they're on there. That'd be super cool. That's why I thought a live would be fun. So we'll do that. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. So it'll be maybe an hour, maybe less. I don't know. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see what y'all want to do. And we'll do the giveaway. Okay. All right. That's it. I'm going to let y'all go. And thanks again for being here and listening and keeping me sane. I love you guys, and take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay. All right. Bye guys.